A landscaper's tools are their livelihood. Tools that are taken care of last longer and won't need replaced as often. Proper tool care says a lot about a landscaper. It shows his or her customer that they care about their image and are professionals. It shows his or her employer that they care about the resources that they've been trusted with. While tool care is mostly about keeping tools clean, dry, and sharp, it is also a way of working. Using tools properly and for the right jobs is important. But for this guide, we'll focus on the care of the tools. Here are some basic tips from our resident pro for best practices when caring for your tools.
So here we have some tools that have seen some use. So they're pretty dirty. Some of the paint is flaking off, and we're just going to go over some of the steps to preparing. We're going to repaint some of these things, make sure they're nice and clean and sharp. So step one, we're going to just kind of remove some of the loose debris. Some of this loose dirt's got to come off. You can use a lot of different things, from a wire brush, even a heavy duty sponge, like if you want to steal one from the kitchen sink or whatever. A heavy duty sponge is nice to have as we're really cleaning these things up. Obviously, you got to get some of this surface dirt off first, scrapers, all that kind of stuff. And we'll talk more about the files and sharpening tools later, but we're just getting things cleaned up right now so that we can get these things back nice and clean, repaint them, resurface them, encapsulate whatever rust we have going on that's going to degrade the use of the tool. We'll get them back looking new. Next, we're just going to dry things off. Since we're focusing on resurfacing these tools and restoring them, we'll go ahead and dry things off by hand to speed up the process a little bit versus waiting for them to dry. So you just got an old towel here. It works well. So really helpful solution is a rust encapsulator. We sell Rust-Oleum's Rust Reformer. So that'll help encapsulate some of the rust buildup that we have and create a smooth surface again. This is a paintable, this creates a paintable surface, acts as a primer, or you can just leave it as a finished coat, and it will withstand abrasion and digging really well, and help you get ahead of your tool maintenance. As we're recoating and resurfacing things, we do have an A.M. Leonard orange. It's called Alice Chambers Orange. Works really well, very close to our Pantone of orange. It's also rust encapsulating. I'm going to apply it to the wheelbarrow tray. Again, resurfacing things, making them last longer, salvaging some heavily used tools. As it relates to the moving tools, it's important, anything with wheels on it, you're going to want to keep greased. It never hurts to spray a little bit of water displacement or WD-40. We like to use this Fed Pro Lubricating. So if we spray this on the bearings and axle, that alone, doing that regularly is going to help, but you can also grease your axle. A lot of wheel tools are going to have grease zerks on them. So you can just pump the, give a couple pumps of grease into the wheel. No need to do put a ton of pressure on there. Just a couple of pumps of the grease will keep things rolling nice and smooth. Had a squeak before, so even right there already it's sounding better. You know, always just spray this stuff right on the axle, and that'll keep things rolling well for you. Never works out well when your axle or bearings are seized up when you're trying to roll a wheelbarrow or cart. Okay, another key piece of your tool set as a landscaper is going to be your cutting tools. A couple things to look for. You're going to have hedge clippers, hand pruners, soil knife, handsaw. So some of the things to look for, ins and outs, you're going to want to look for in the edge of your blades. If you have any big gouges, like where this flat surface has folded under, you call it a burr or a gouge. But those are things that are detrimental to the smoothness of the cutting action. You're going to end up fighting those things. pretty easy to maintain these things. I use anything from a flat file to go along. You get like something more abrasive is going to help the bigger gouges, especially if you have a gouge that's folded down. You could really iron that out with something flat like this. And there's a lot of oils as well that you can use to spray down the blade. You be conscious of the sharp edges of these things. You can always go, I try to get in the habit of going down as I'm scrubbing. So I'm scrubbing away from the sharp edge, so that's nice and safe to do. Typically, you can put these things in a vise or work fixturing device, so everything is fixed and nice and safe to work with. So you see, we've cleaned that up really nice. There's really no gouges in this. A couple other really helpful products that you can find out in the marketplace are sharpening or blade sharpening tools like this. AccuSharp is a really good name in sharpening tools. All of their sharpening stones are Rockwell HRC 90, which is extremely hard. You're not going to find too many things. There's a lot of knockoff brands out there, I guess I should say that. Don't use the correct stones, and your blade is actually going to be harder than the stone. That just wears the blade in a way that's not going to result in a sharp blade, and you can actually ruin some of your cutting tools by not using a good stone. So look for AccuSharp. All of our AM Leonard hand sharpeners have the industrial HRC 90 sharpening stones. So this one has a bevel on it, so that we got one flat side and one angled side. So the flat side is obviously the underside of this head shear, where the beveled side is on top. So with these tools, they protect your hand, and you would just go in the direction of the blade here. This helps get a really nice and really easy way to maintain a nice sharp blade. Obviously, the bigger gouges and so on and so forth, you can use a tool like the flat file to really get some of the bigger stuff out and go along the larger surface face right here. You can use a tool like this, but when you're really just looking to get quick and dirty, sharp edge, these tools are amazing. Another essential cutting tool in landscaping and tree care is a saw. You're going to see folding saws and fixed saws. Now, a common misconception on some of these, with a properly made saw blade, you're going to want to be conscious of trying to sharpen it. It's better to try and keep these clean, and the gullets and the teeth, you could really spray down with some of the blade cleaners that are out there. And again, if you're cleaning a saw blade, wiping in this direction away from the sharp tips, if you can spray down and get even a toothbrush or a small brush, wire brush can damage the surface a little bit and then cause more buildup. So try to do something plastic to clean the teeth before you get to the point of needing to sharpen it. A lot of the saw blades, again, when I say they're properly made, they're impulse hardened or have some kind of plating or hardening that was done on the teeth. So you don't want to file through that. One thing, a tool that can be used are these triangle sharpeners. If you are in the field and you do not have a replacement blade and you're really fighting to get through the day and make safe cuts, you can use one of these to kind of clean out, really clean out the teeth, and give them anything that's any burrs or edges that you're fighting. This will kind of help shave those down. You want to be really careful when you're doing it. You can see on this blade that they're tri-edge, so you have a flat surface on the tip, a very small flat surface, and then two larger flat surfaces on the side. So it's really hard to get into those and say sharpen one or flatten out one edge. So that's why we say it's more not only economical but safer just to use a blade to the point that it's dull, and then replace the blade. Again, always want to keep these things clean. Use your blade cleaner. plastic brush, keep the saw teeth nice and clear. Another piece of a landscaper's everyday carry might be a knife, a pocket knife or soil knife. So this one has some surface rust built up. If you're using a tool and you leave a little bit of dirt on it at the end of the day, you're almost always going to run into some surface rust. Now, this rust, it's very fresh and it's going to come right off with some light scrubbing. So if you don't get to cleaning your tools every day, just don't be surprised by the surface rust, because just a little light scrubbing with some fine grit sandpaper will knock that off. You can also, some of the sharpeners out in the industry have a round dowel, and you can clean out the serrated edge of your knife with those if you really want to get these things nice and sharp again. So just gonna get this cleaned up, wipe it down away from the sharp edges, and that's ready to go back in our sheath. Another very heavily used piece of a landscaper's tool set is going to be hand pruners. You're pruning a lot of live wood with this, and you're going to get some serious buildup really quick just for how often these are used. Often you guys got a sheath grabbing these things to make any kind of cuts as you're going throughout properties. So as you can see, these are really gummed up and sticking. So again, some blade cleaner, great to start with. You can see this stuff actually gets activated. You can tell a lot of surface rust on there. So even just spraying that on there sometimes and articulating them, you'll want to make sure you spray some lubricant down in the joints, in the where the blades are, the two sides are articulating. So get that sprayed on there. Again, you can use these blade sharpeners are good. You can get most of the blade with them, with the tool assembled, so you can get the finer side of your blade sharpened here. Carefully drying them off here, and just wiping them down is going to get, after the blade cleaner being on there for a bit. These are any hand pruners with high quality blades and materials and being properly made. They're going to clean off really easy. You see how well that cleaned up with just a little bit of blade cleaner and lubricant sprayed on here. So ours use a SK5 Japanese steel. A lot of other big names out there like Felco, and it's the Swiss-made product, use a high-end materials. ARS, another Japanese-made hand pruner. So there's a lot of nice ones out there, really easy to care for. Yep. So when we talk about the blade edge and keeping a sharp edge and how much easier that makes things on you so you're not fighting the tool as you're using it, you can see this is a nice roll. Even with my fingernail, I can start to peel it back. But if you're going along the edge and you get something that catches, that's going to be something that you're fighting throughout use. So this is a burr that we would want to file down. You use your flat file, a great tool for this. You can see once we hit that, we're starting to peel that back and smooth that down. So that's going to result in the tool's going to be a lot easier to use. You're cutting into the ground or cutting through the scraping across the ground and scooping up the material rather than fighting the tool as you run into things. But we get asked a lot. A lot of people assume that you don't want to use like a tool like an angle grinder and a flap disc. You could really get this sharpened up pretty quick and cleaned up pretty quick, deburr it. Your digging tools, of course, you don't want to use that on necessarily on a cutting tool like a hand pruner or something like that. But with these shovels and digging tools, I would highly suggest use of a angle grinder to quickly sharpen your tools. A a lot of people get worried that you're going to ruin the temper of the steel. A lot of these are tempered or heat treated so that they don't bend when you're using them. You can't, unless you're getting the tool red hot while you're sharpening it. That's the only thing to caution for. But if you're making nice light to medium passes across your blade edge with a grinder, you're not necessarily going to ruin the temper. You'd have to get it as hot as it was when it was tempered to ruin the temper. So feel safe to use power equipment to sharpen your digging tools as well.
All right, and lastly, now that we've got the blade clean, we've got it sharp, I'm going to put on a little protective oil coating. This isn't something you'd want to do daily or anything like that, but it is seasonally good to oil the blade, especially on one like this that's used. It's essentially unprotected. There's still a little clear coat from the factory up here, but this working edge is definitely bare metal. And this, you can see it's cleaning it off already. This will soak into the pores of the metal, helps prevent rust, also helps dirt and mud from sticking to it, which makes your cleanup at the end of the day better and easier. All right, so we got the blades covered. The other important part of your tools are the handles. So like in this case, got fiberglass, wood, poly, all of these things. The best practice really is to keep them out of the sun for long periods of time. I mean, you're going to be working with them, but you don't want to necessarily like stand them up against the barn and just have them outside all the time. It'll just degrade it faster. In the case of wood, this comes with a lacquer coating on it. Years of use and out in the sun, I mean, it will wear off. So one of the things you can do with this is really just hit it with some sandpaper where you handle it the most, and then put on like a linseed type oil or a tunnel oil or something like that. That'll help seal the wood back up, keep it from absorbing water, makes it more comfortable to use, keeps it from splintering, and it'll just extend the life of the tool. Well, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Again, there's lots of different ways to maintain tools, lots of different methods for removing rust and keeping them sharp. These are just some of the methods we use. Ultimately, it just comes down to keeping them clean, keep them dry, keep them sharp. Things like poly, don't leave them out in the sun. If you do these things, good quality tools like AM Leonard tools will last you years and years under professional use.